Praise the Lord and good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Yo, welcome to another edition, another episode of our Good Morning Grief Daily Devotional. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr., and I'm so happy and so excited to have this opportunity to come to you on this Sunday, February the 19th, for another grief devotional. Come on, y'all, say it with me. As always, grief is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feeling and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how it is expressed on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, we express it. And that's why we say good morning, because mourning is a good thing. And we are grateful and thankful for this wonderful opportunity to walk with you 365 days this year as you navigate through your grief journey. Because y'all know how we going to do it, right? One day at a time. That's right. So I want to welcome you on and thank you for joining us on today. On Sundays, y'all, we keep it short because we got to get to the house of God. I want to encourage you. If you are in the Indianapolis area, come worship with us today, 10607 East 56th Street. Worship with us at the City of Hope Community Church at 10 a.m. If you are not in the Indianapolis area, you can still catch us virtually at 10 a.m. as well. We are grateful and thankful for the wonderful opportunity to come together in this village, in this community, to continue to help each other to navigate through the grief that we're grappling with. If you have not, please go and join our Good Morning Grief group on Facebook. We are making connections. We're building a virtual village. We are helping each other navigate through the grief that we're going through, and I'm super duper excited about it. And so come on and join us in the village, y'all. Today is day 50, and I'm excited about our devotional today. Today we're going to talk about newfound fear. Newfound fear. Our grief quote comes from C.S. Lewis, who says, "No one ever told me grief felt so like fear." No one ever told me grief felt so like fear. How many of y'all can relate to that? That when it comes to the grief that you're feeling and you're experiencing in your life, that you've also come across a newfound fear, right? Some of you have expressed this, and so I was amazed, especially coming across in our devotional today, that some of you can say, yo, because of what I've been through and because of what I've gone through, there is this newfound fear. We're going to talk about it, y'all. Check this out. Feelings of anxiety, panic, and fear are often part of our grief experience. Anxiety, panic, and fear. How many of y'all can relate to say, yo, that's me, that's what I've been feeling? I got one out of the three. I got two out of the three. I got three out of the three, right? That's what I've been feeling. Feelings of fear or anxiety. What is it? Feelings of anxiety, panic, and fear are often part of our grief experience. Our sense of security has been threatened, so we are naturally anxious. Now, this is so true. Our sense of security has been threatened, right? We got this built-in mechanism. You've heard of this before, fight or flight, that when fear comes, that either we going to fight or we going to flight, we going to take off running. Well, going through this grief thing, y'all, our sense of security has been threatened, right? That everything we're dealing with and we're experiencing and we're going through, now everything is heightened, everything is on edge. Our sense of security is threatened. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's been compromised, but it's threatened, which puts us in a different mindset. Check this out. Our sense of security has been threatened, so we are naturally anxious. We find ourselves wondering, here it is, am I going to be okay? Will I survive this? What might happen next? Come on. Have you asked yourself one of those three questions? Am I going to be okay? Will I survive this? What will happen next? Some of us even have the fear we've lost one loved one, so now we fear of losing somebody else. We have this anxiety. We have this fear. I might lose somebody else. I may lose somebody else, right? And we begin to wonder. We begin to ponder. We begin to ask ourselves one of these three questions. Am I going to be okay? Will I survive this? What might happen next? We may be afraid of what the future holds, or that we will experience other losses. I know this devotion was talking to somebody today. We may be afraid of what the future holds or that we will experience other losses. We may be more aware of our own vulnerability or mortality, which also can be scary. I told you before, y'all, that feelings of the past is where depression is. Feelings of the future is where anxiety is, right? When you have no thoughts of the past, when you have all of these thoughts of the past, that's where depression is. Depression sets in because it's not the way it used to be. So we have all of these thoughts of the past. We have all of these thoughts of how it was. That's where depression is. But then thoughts of the future is where anxiety is. And some of our fear and some of our anxiety has come about, right? Because we don't know what the future holds. We don't know what tomorrow looks like. We ask ourselves this question: how can I go on with my life without you in my life? And because we got all of these unanswered questions that we don't know, right? We tend to have more anxiety and more fear about the future. We may be afraid of what the future holds or that we will experience other losses. We may be more aware of our vulnerability or mortality, which can be scary. We may feel panicky about our inability to concentrate. We may feel panicky about our inability to concentrate. Financial problems can compound our feelings of anxiety, right? Essentially, all is not well in our worlds, which can make us feel anxious and afraid. Talking our fears, here it is, what do? Talking our fears through with someone who cares about us and can listen without simply telling us we don't need to be afraid is a way through. Talking our fears through with someone who cares about us and can listen without simply telling us we don't need to be afraid is a way through. This is a coping mechanism. This is a strategy. This is how you mourn meaningfully. This is how you express on the inside, how you express on the outside what you feel on the inside. Talking through somebody who cares, somebody who tells, oh, you ain't got to be afraid. Oh, you ain't got to be afraid. You ain't got to be afraid. No, you want to be able to. I always ask this question: who are you processing life with? It is so very important that you are mindful of who you are processing and digesting this thing called life with, right? And especially in a situation like this, because you want to be felt, you want to be heard, right? And if it's just if sometimes people try to solve and resolve the equation. I don't need you to solve and resolve anything, because the reality is you can't. You don't have the power to solve and resolve my issue. I just need you to listen, right? I don't need an answer. I just need to get this out. I don't need you to solve and resolve the chord. I don't need you to solve and resolve the equation. I sometimes you just got to let stuff hang and linger. I just need a safe place and a safe space to get it out. So who you process life with is important. And in a situation like this, it's not needing somebody to tell you, you ain't got to be afraid. It's having the ability to be able to express yourself and get out on the outside what you're feeling on the inside. Talking our fears through with someone who cares about us and can listen without simply telling us we don't need to be afraid is a way through. Here it is. Working on self-calming techniques and rituals is another. Self-calming techniques and rituals. I taught this one spiritual thing called breath prayers. You say a short prayer and you inhale, right? And then you exhale. It's just a short prayer to kind of help calm you. Some people count, right? Some people quote scripture. Some people, they do a lot of different things for self-calm. One of the most powerful things you can do, one of the most powerful things you can do is simply breathe. To be aware of your breath and to breathe, right? One of the most powerful self-calming techniques you can do is to breathe. I'm telling you, when you are aware of your breathing, when you are aware of what you're feeling and what you're dealing with and what you're going through, and you start to panic and you start to get in an uproar, just remember to pause for the cause, right? And to breathe. But these self-calming techniques are things you can do. And I know, look, you have to look it up, some self-calming techniques and rituals. These are things that you can do that will help you. Let's look at this final thought of the day. I will notice what calms me down when I feel afraid or anxious. I will turn to these healthy self calming techniques whenever I need to. I will also speak my fears aloud to a good listener. I love it. I will notice what calms me down when I feel afraid or anxious. It's different strokes for different folks. Whatever calms you down, as long as it's meaningful, right? We don't want to do things, we want to do things that are instrumental, not things that are detrimental. So, whatever calms you down that's instrumental, I will turn to these healthy self calming techniques whenever I need to. I will also speak my fears aloud to a good listener. Y'all, that last part is so important. This is a lot of it right here. It's finding a safe place and safe space where you can talk, communicate your fears aloud to a good listener. I'm telling you, it is thebomb.com. It will help you so much on your grief journey. Today is day 50, y'all. We're talking about this newfound fear we have and dealing with various techniques and things we can do to help us to navigate through our grief process. Look, this is what I need you to do. Today is Sunday. We cut short because, we're going to the house of God. If y'all can come to the house of God today, I hope and pray y'all can. Come rock with us one time for the one time. But if you got a question about this lesson, I need you to put it in the Facebook group. I'll go back later on this afternoon after I done preached and all this stuff and had my Sunday nap. I'll come back and I'll answer whatever questions you may have. But if you got a questions, comment, whatever about this lesson or anything else, drop it in the Good Morning Grief Facebook group. And I'll come back and pick it up and I'll get it. Look, I hope and pray you have a sensational Sunday. Hope your weekend has been wonderful. Keep on navigating through your grief one day at a time. I love you with the love of the Lord. And I look forward to us connecting and hooking up again. Hope you have a sensational Sunday. Let's go.